Sam Kinison's life was a study in extremes, evolving from a fire and brimstone Pentecostal preacher into one of the most controversial, high-decibel figures in comedy history. Early life and the preacher years born. Samuel Burrell Kinison on December 8, 1953, in Yakima, Washington. He grew up in Peoria, Illinois. His childhood was marked by significant trauma. At age 3, he was hit by a truck, resulting in brain damage that his family believed contributed to his intense personality and later struggles with epilepsy. Following in his father's footsteps, Kinison became a Pentecostal preacher at age 17. For 7 years, he traveled the country delivering sermons. Interestingly, his rock star comedy persona, characterized by sudden tirades and his trademark primal scream, was actually a direct evolution of his fire and brimstone preaching style. He reportedly abandoned the ministry around 1978 after his first marriage failed, and he found himself unable to make a living in the church. The comedy breakthrough Kinison moved to Houston and later Los Angeles, where he struggled as a doorman at the Comedy Store while battling homelessness and addiction. His big break came in 1985 on Rodney Dangerfield's 9th annual Young Comedians special. His Scream of the Married Man was unlike anything on television, catapulting him to instant stardom. Career highlights film. His most iconic role was Professor Turguson in the 1986 comedy Back to School, where he played a high-strung, screaming Vietnam veteran teaching contemporary American history. Music. He bridged the gap between comedy and rock, collaborating with artists like Slash and Billy Idol. His 1988 cover of Wild Thing became an MTV staple. Albums. His debut album Louder Than Hell, 1986, and the follow-up Have You Seen Me Lately, 1988, were massive successes, the latter earning him a Grammy nomination. The death of a wild child. On April 10, 1992, at the age of 38, Kinison was killed in a head-on collision on U.S. Route 95 near Needles, California. He was en route to a sold-out show in Laughlin, Nevada, just 6 days after his wedding to Malika Sweary. The accident Kinison was driving his Pontiac Trans Am when a pickup truck, driven by a 17-year-old who had been drinking, crossed the center line and struck him head-on. Unlike his wife, who survived with minor injuries, Kinison was not wearing a seatbelt and suffered a torn aorta and massive internal injuries. The final moments. Kinison's final moments have become legendary in comedy lore. According to his brother, Bill Kinison, who was following in a van behind him, Sam initially appeared stable enough to get out of the car. However, he soon lay down on the road and began a one-sided negotiation with an unseen presence. His brother recounted the final exchange. "Why now? I don't want to die. Why?" He paused as if listening to an answer. "But why?" Another pause, followed by a final peaceful surrender. Okay. He died at the scene shortly after. The 17-year-old driver was later sentenced to probation and community service for vehicular manslaughter. Legacy. Sam Kinison's influence remains visible in shock and outlaw comedy. He was a primary influence on comedians like Bill Hicks and was a frequent guest and favorite of Howard Stern. In 1994, he was posthumously awarded a Grammy for Best Spoken Comedy Album for Live from Hell.